Hi, everyone.
Hi, Kirill. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Dmitry. Hi, Kidus. Kidus, are you with us? Great. Dmitry, with us today, Kidus. He actually understands how it works. He has an experience of doing such things in Ethiopia and know all the bottlenecks regarding these solutions. So yesterday, we briefly discussed. I showed your website, your product, and today I gonna give a lead to Kidus, so he will raise some questions, so we will understand if it's feasible to launch such solution here in Ethiopia.
Okay. Guys, maybe the first I will verify our vision, our target audience, because it passed about several months, and of course we were working on our project, and we clarify our target audience and the problem which we are going to solve. Maybe I will shortly explain what our target audience now, and what kind of problem we are going to solve and for, and what kinds of segments we are going to solve this problem. Maybe will I start with this? What do you think?
I think this is a very good idea, so we will be synchronized, and then we can proceed to the questions, whatever. So please proceed, Dmitry.
Okay, great. Kidus, can you hear me clear? Is it okay, this voice? Kidus, hello?
Yes, I can hear you from my.
Okay. Okay, I will start. Actually, 1 second. Yeah, now we understand that our target audience, this is individuals and business which want to buy any goods and services abroad. Like, for example, individuals want to buy any goods on Amazon, and business want to buy any products in Alibaba, for example, from any suppliers. And the problem there that individuals can physical individuals have any restriction. It's hard to buy dollar. It's not impossible to buy any goods and services using their Naira card. And as well, business has a restriction and limits for buying any foreign cryptocurrency currency like dollar. Therefore, it's hard to buy goods from suppliers. From example, on Alibaba from China. Therefore, our solution now, like we see it now, individuals can to buy any products on Amazon, Netflix, whatever is the first, then to send money abroad instantly for one person fee, compared with 8 person like they need to pay at the moment. Business can to buy any goods from suppliers on Alibaba, for example, and as well they will be able to send money abroad instantly for 0.5% compared with 7% at the moment. And last one, if individuals will be able to use cards, which we are going to issue for buying any services goods in Nigeria, it will be great, because we are going to give them opportunity to use their cryptocurrency, which will be converted immediately at the time of purchase. For example, if someone wants to buy a bottle of water and use our crypto card, they can use it for buying for Naira. This is our solution. What do we need at the moment for launching this? We need that any financial services, maybe bank, to allow us opportunity to get Naira and convert it into the cryptocurrency. The first. The second one, bank. It will be great if bank will be able to issue card where will be kept cryptocurrency and will make convert it to Naira immediately at the time of purchase. I will give you this scheme how I see this process. For example, if business wants to buy any goods from foreign suppliers, they need to deposit our services, our lemon, using Naira. Then we will convert their Naira to USDT on our Delaware-based account. Then we will send this money by SWIFT in any different countries like China. Therefore, business will be able to buy any goods, services from suppliers in different countries. Yeah, it's our target. I mentioned target audience, business and physical, who need to buy foreign goods. Our solution that we are going to give them foreign cards, and they will be able to send money to buy goods from external suppliers. And we need that any financial services give us opportunity to get Naira and convert it to the crypto. And I gave you the scheme how we can to see it. Kidus, is it understandable? What? If not, let's say I will verify any moment which you don't understand.
No, what you're saying is pretty clear. I understand the angle that you're looking at this, but yeah, I just have like a couple of questions.
Yeah.
So my first question is, does your platform have a P2P aspect?
Yeah, we at the moment can use P2P for exception Naira and convert it to the USDT. Of course, we can use this opportunity, but we try to find maybe centralized decision. For example, because we know there are some services which allow to accept Naira without any external business or people, but we don't understand is it possible or not. Now we use P2P. Yeah, right.
Okay, that's good. Yes, I would highly recommend using the P2P aspect, because one thing you have to understand about Ethiopia is our currency is pegged at the bank rate, meaning that there's basically two different rates. One that's official that the government recognizes, and there's another one which is more of the other market, which is like the black market. But one thing I was also listening that you were saying that you wanted to work with a bank, correct?
Actually, yes, we are using the rates which show us the Binance, because we integrated with Binance and we made all P2P transactions through Binance, because there are the most biggest P2P base. Yeah, it's quickly and easy to make P2P procedures automatically through API connection, not handy, but automatically.
Perfect. Because from what you said earlier, working with a bank would sort of be a moot point, because, for example, people that have USDT or anything, first of all, there isn't the government doesn't currently recognize or understand cryptocurrencies. It's like it's around, but there's nothing that's really going on in terms of government policy currently. But right now, if you, for example, with your idea of connecting to a bank, if you do that, the market would not come over there, because just to give you a perspective, the bank rate currently is 54, and the P2P rate is about 100. So there's a big gap over there. So yeah, so and one thing you also I would recommend understanding is Ethiopia is a very unique country in terms of the policies we have and the different bottlenecks that are here. We don't have we don't have like we have the population, but there's other bottlenecks that we have here when it comes to various things, especially bringing adoption to a new application. But
continue.
Yeah, but the value proposition you have with the online card to make purchases online, that is a huge value proposition in Ethiopia because
why do you think so? Yeah,
it's very important because right now there aren't any providers that give that in Ethiopia.
What exactly any providers didn't that they didn't they doesn't give people to a foreign card which physical business have to use it for bank foreign services, or what exactly? Can you give a little more detail in this space?
For sure. See, the way our system works is, for example, dollars, the way dollars are used, it's very controlled by the federal government out here.
Yeah.
And the way it works is like, for example, we have debit cards here, but the debit cards we have are only for local usage.
Yes.
And it's only with the local currency. And for example, if you want to get an LC for your business, you have to wait. And you have to wait till the government gives you dollars. And just to give you a perspective, Ethiopia, the federal government has one of the lowest dollar reserves in the world. Just to give you an example, one of the things I work with is a paper factory. And the thing is, for example, when we were getting the paper factory together, everything was ready in 2015. But it took them, like they took the federal government 3 or 4 years to give us the dollars. Like we had the money, but since they were going to give us the dollars at the bank rate, everyone has to wait, and no one is, unless it's in specific sectors, there isn't people. The mass market is not allowed to leverage their own dollars or buy it off of the free market to use it for your business. So that is the bottleneck that exists. But although this bottleneck exists, obviously people cannot do business waiting years to get their liquidity. So since the system is like that, there's already a system where people sort of use like the all liquidity of the black market to purchase their product, especially businesses.
Okay, got it.
So yeah, so for example, just to give you a perspective on things, our rate is very sensitive to price action. Our black market rate. Just to give you an idea, a couple of months ago, our country, they basically started this policy where if you import an electric car, that you don't have to pay taxes. Right? And all the car importers, they bought a lot of dollars. It's not even like they bought the available dollars, a lot of them. They moved the rate from 80 to 100. And this is primarily through P2P and Binance P2P.
Correctly understand you. Let's just verify your thoughts. Correctly understand you that if we want to get Naira from our customers, individuals and business, we need only to use the P2P function because it's not allowed the centralized approach to make transfer and conversion from Naira to USDT. We can do it only by P2P, Binance, or on the centralized platform like DeFi and etc. Is it possible through P2P only? Is it right?
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely correct.
Okay, thank you. Continue.
Yeah. So the thing is, one thing you have to understand is the market is definitely here. Like there's a significant demand. Just to give you an idea, for example, if there's no direct method for people that want to get a Netflix subscription, Like you have to get someone that has a foreign account and everything to that. You can't even get Spotify locally.
What
But
kind of problem you mentioned about that big demand? What kind of problem people have exactly? They don't have opportunity to buy foreign goods with big size, for example, due to restriction for business, for example, $10,000. Is it not impossible to buy goods for more? This kind of problem, or what kind of problem is the most
well, see,
the biggest?
the two things you have to recognize. First of all, when businesses are importing, the government already sees how the demand from these businesses is already driving the black market rate up, and so in whatever ways they can, they try to control it. For example, you could order stuff online and it will be shipped to Ethiopia, right? But when it gets shipped, the customs, they hold the stuff and they ask you where you get it from, how did you pay for it. So for example, with a personal experience to give you, for example, for our missionary, we need to import glue, and we can't wait for the government to give us dollars because our factory will stop. So we bought from the black market, we imported, we paid for it. But when it comes in, customs ask us, okay, where'd you get the dollars to get the sticks? But on the receipt that the glue comes with, we had to we had to write stuff like that it's a free sample. So it's more of like cat and mouse games if you're trying to go the B2B route. And in addition to that, our tax and revenue collection agency is very stringent, and it's very hard for, like, for example, when I'm giving you this glue example, uh, when I'm giving you this glue example, the it's not, the money's not coming out of the business. It has to come from our pockets, because questions will come on from the taxation agency. So there's a very stringent system that is there. But one thing for a person that's trying to expand into Ethiopia, one thing that I would really push is the B2C market, which is a lot bigger. Because for example, from the different groups I'm a part of, from my experience, most people, even on Binance in Ethiopia, they don't have like a significant amount of money. They might have like $10 or $20. There's only a few people that have significant amount of money on it, and the thing is, it's primarily because of lack of understanding. And what Binance does not offer is a digital debit card, and that's where your value proposition comes in. That's where you could easily take market share from Binance. But it's very, instead of concentrating on the businesses, I would highly recommend on working with the B2C aspect, because since you can make payments with Swift, for example, people order stuff off of do you know Shein, the Chinese e-commerce? So people order clothes or something, and it gets posted, but they might spend like $10 or $20, or if they wanted to buy video games for their PlayStations digitally. So there's a lot. The path to the B2C path is a lot easier than the B2B path.
Okay, got your
Yes.
point. Thanks. Got your point.
Yeah.
Thank you. Actually, we verify our competitors. I didn't mention about it. Clasha and Everton. Have you heard about this our competitors? Clasha, Everton.
Can you say that again?
Clasha.com, technology company building cross-border e-commerce solution for African
Can you spell it for me?
I will send now in your chat in Zoom. 1 second.
Is it CATCHA?
KLACHA. I sent it already. You can open.
Okay, yeah, please send it to me.
Yeah, it's for more understandable our idea. They as well working with the B2C, as you mentioned, and with B2B. If I correctly understand their business model, the main source of income came from B2B, of course, because there are more average.
Yes,
Yeah.
but this application is not active in Ethiopia as far as I know.
Yeah.
You're right. If you go to other, this is what I meant when I said that Ethiopia is a unique situation. Because in other countries, the logical method is going the B2B route, absolutely, for growth. But Ethiopia, because of our policies, one thing you have to understand about Ethiopia is that, for example, up until 1991, Ethiopia used to be a communist country. And for about 27 years after that, it was more or less socialist left-leaning, and most things were blocked off. And just to give you an example, around 10 years ago, our prime minister was asked to open a stock exchange, but he refused because he was like, we don't understand the systems and we don't know how to control it. So the door was pretty closed. Things have been going more into a capitalist and open markets direction only in the past 4 years. And it's still very early. And it's due to the new prime minister we have that came in 4 years ago, but we're increasingly going towards a laissez-faire system, and so that's the direction where the country is going. But currently, still the policies are still very archaic and very, very left wing in terms of how the policies are set up and everything. But this is slowly changing. Right now, honestly, the best way I could explain it is the same thing that happened in Russia in 91 and in India in 99. Economy is liberalizing, and there's a couple of players that that played their cards right and made the right moves, and they made a tremendous amount of money. And Ethiopia is exactly at that moment right now, where our current system is more or less not doing well and it's not sustainable, and drastic changes are coming.
What do you think about regulation in Nigeria, cryptocurrency regulation in Nigeria? I mean, it will be appear soon. What do you think? Or this is going slowly?
The current regulations in Ethiopia. So the first bit of news we got was around June 2022, and the government. So there's a lot of people running pyramid schemes in Ethiopia, and they disappeared with the money. And what the National Bank basically came out to say is that since there's no legal laws about this, the federal government cannot protect you if there are scams or anything. Right now, for the past 6-7 months, they've been saying that policies are coming, but nothing has happened. Like, for example, if you look at Nigeria, if you've noticed, do you know Paxful, the website Paxful?
Yes,
it's big with Nigeria. If you notice in 2020, the amount of remittances coming back into the country in Nigeria went down by about 80% due to P2P. And see, right now, the P2P market is sort of, it's starting right now. And it's like, it's an open free market system. But right now, there's no policy in terms of restricting cryptocurrency in Ethiopia. What the government is more or less has been saying is that they're doing their studies and they're doing their research to come up with laws, but there hasn't been anything fruitful yet. Because one thing you also have to understand that, like, for example, crypto laws in Ethiopia are a very low priority in the Ethiopian government. We have we have the third worst inflation rate in the world. We've just come out of a war that lasted 2 years, a civil war. There's a lot of chaos in the economy, and coming up with crypto laws and everything, whether it be open or restrictive, is not a high priority.
Yeah, I got your point.
Yeah, but I believe that right now, if you're trying to make a move into Ethiopia, it's definitely the prime time. You cannot It's like buying Bitcoin for $1. You can't you can't hope for a better position.
Yeah, okay, got
Yeah,
your point.
yeah.
Okay, kids, what do you think? How can we be value for each other? What do you think?
Well, for me personally, this sounds like a very interesting project, and I'm sure, like I would definitely love to help and collaborate with you guys. Because the thing is, one thing you have to understand about Ethiopia is the way to go about things and everything in Ethiopia. It's not like uh, it's not like even other African countries, because most of the knowledge comes from experience and living here. For example, if you try to look up cryptocurrency laws in Ethiopia, you won't find anything on government websites. Honestly, our government websites are barely functional. It looks like a website. Most of them look like a website that's from the 1990s. It hasn't been updated. It's just there for lip service. And but the thing is, you would need people that know the local crypto markets that have a certain standing in the cryptocurrency markets in Ethiopia, and moving accordingly to that.
Okay,
Yeah,
understand.
yeah.
Okay, Kidus, what do you think? Actually, we in some future after several months, I think we will start to finding investment. And what do you think? Can you help in some ways to try to find the investments and maybe be part of our team? What do you think about this?
If I'm being honest, that's not my area of expertise. I think the better person to talk to would be Helena. That's my area of expertise is more of in the area of crypto adoption and stuff like that. That's my area of expertise. In terms of investment, I don't want to lead you astray, but that's not my area of expertise. I highly recommend talking to Helena. You know Helena, right?
Yeah, sure. We know each other.
Yeah.
She's with us, yes.
Yes,
I'm also
yes.
on the call, guys. I made it. I came a bit
okay.
late.
Great, awesome. But yes, did you hear the last part? Kilo.
Yeah.
About investment?
Yes.
So what was the what investment is needed, you mean? Sorry.
Yeah, actually we are working on for creating a project for getting the first sales, and after several months we are going to getting funding. And my question was, can we be attached because we need to help for funding if it will be interesting for you, for example, personally. Is it possible? And is it interesting for you, for example, potentially? If yes, how can we collaborate in this space?
Yeah, I mean, we can definitely collaborate. So you want me to help you get funding, or sorry, I didn't understand still.
Yes, get funding after several months. We will start to searching funding after several months because we will got already several sales. We have created already finally our project, and we need to develop it to find in product market fit. Of course, we will need funding, of course, and we need help for searching, or maybe you will be the person who can be interested for this.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can help you, no problem.
Okay, I suppose we can go back to this questions when we verify clear our segments. We got several sales and can start to work. Or when when it will be better to start conversation about funding? What do you think, Selena? What time it will be better?
Yeah, I
have
mean,
a quick question.
Anytime would be good. I mean, it depends on how much funding you're looking for. So if you want some early stage funding, small amount, and then they might get actually more percentage, we can do now. If not, later once we acquire more customers. But I think before getting the funding, it's important to acquire users. Once you have a lot of users, everyone will come at you with funding.
Actually, we have several hundred registered users only. We have about 20 sales only. Of course, we are developing our product and want to more big registered users and sales. And questions, I'm trying to understand on what stage should to come to you, for example, when we will have several hundred sales, maybe $2,000-3,000 revenue. Of course, it will be the early stage investment. I suppose about $400. Yeah, on this stage, we will need funding. Yeah, my question is, what point should to come to you? What time should to come to you for communicate on this question?
Like I said, I mean, you know, there are also funders that give for early stage, so we can discuss. But if you want to get a bit more, you know, more money, and for less equity, for sure, I think when you have over a few 100,000 users, and yeah, I mean, revenue also anywhere from 200 to 800,000 revenue, can work.
Yeah, I think so. Thank you, Helena. Kidus, maybe can we change contacts and to keep our connection? What do you think? Do you have maybe WhatsApp or LinkedIn, something else? What do you prefer?
Yeah, we could do WhatsApp. We could communicate on WhatsApp. Kirill has my contact information. I think he can forward it to you. You could contact me anytime. I think from the discussion we have, I think your goal right now is to basically expand as much as you can and then get investments. So I think in terms of, for example, in other countries, since the system is comparatively more open, there will be a lot more competition. But I think in Ethiopia, honestly, the only competition you would face would be Binance. But your debit card feature will definitely, like if you decide to concentrate on Ethiopia, will definitely I believe it will get you those numbers in terms of the hundreds of thousands. Because for example, on Binance, there's only the people that understand and know crypto. But your digital debit card is a much bigger aspect, and people will learn to use crypto in order to get this access, whether it's to get Netflix or Spotify or anything. So I believe that the B2C market in Ethiopia is ripe for the taking, and I believe that, like, in terms of attaining your goal, I think Ethiopia would be a good fit for you.
Kidus, I got one idea. We can make another call with you, and we will show you what we have already, what kind of function, how many users, how they to come to us, and to discuss with you next roadmap until this 20,000 revenue. When we will reach, we will be able to back to Helena. And we can to discuss the roadmap. We can to discuss what we have now, the roadmap, how to reach our target point, and how you can to collaborate with us. What do you think about it?
That's great. I think me and Helena could create a document with potential opportunities and ways we can incorporate with your roadmap. So I think that potential is there. So I think we could set a next meeting, and from our end, we'll prepare a document of what strategy you should be using in terms of going into Ethiopia, and we could work something out like that.
Excellent. Helena, what do you
and
think
also,
about?
Dimitri, are you also interested in other African markets?
Like Nigeria, South Africa, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, of course, everybody wants to go to those markets, right? Because you know, it's a huge amount of people, but there's also lots of competition there. So I mean, I don't know, for me and Kudus, we would also be interested, also obviously with Krill is also, we would be interested in also you know, possibly partnering with you guys also for Tanzania.
Yes, sure.
So to start with, we can do Ethiopia and Tanzania. So yeah, me and Kudus can send you the documents as Kudus just said.
Yeah, Helena, of course, we are interested in a market where we help clients to solve their problem. Of course, it's absolutely.
So let me propose then following road. So I will create a group with the current participants, and then we will start
communication.
We will start communicating there. Yes, so it will be streamlined and synchronized between the participants.
Perfect.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, guys, thank you for communication. It will be a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you, Helena, Kirill, Kidus, Vitaly. Thanks for.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. So right after this call, I will create a common group, and then we will proceed our communication there.
Great. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye.